Good morning, students. So the next topic is constructors in Java. So what is a constructor? So constructor is nothing but a block of code. So which is similar to a method. So then what is the difference is it is nothing but the name. So the name of the constructor is same as a class name. Okay. So name of the method, if name of the class are both are same, then that method is called as a constructor. Okay, it is also consisting set of statements to perform a specific task. Okay, so it is a special type of method, so which is used to initialize the object. We know the object is nothing but instance of class. To initialize the object, we have a constructor. We need this constructor, no, like a method. So it is called when instance of a class is created, that is nothing but an object. Whenever object is created, it automatically called by the constructor. Okay, so at the time of calling constructor, memory for the object is allocated in the memory. Okay, so once constructor created, construct calling is always, is everything related to object only. Okay, so whenever we call the constructor, obviously the call for object is made, that means memory is object is created. Okay, so every time an object is created using a new keyword, we know the already the how the object is created. The class name, object name equal to new class name, right? So whenever you use a new keyword for creating an object, at least one constructor is called. Okay, so it calls a default the at least one constructor, that is nothing but a default constructor. So if user cannot create any constructor, then a default constructor obviously called by the Java JVM. Okay, so JVM or Java compiler provides a default compiler by default. Okay, so we can create what is a constructor, simply nothing but a method only, but the difference is the name of the method is same as a class name, then it is called as a constructor. Okay, so if no constructor is defined in the program, so a default construct inbuilt called. Okay, so I will show you the diagram. Okay, like this. Okay, so class name. Okay, so whenever we compile, so by default this is nothing but a constructor. Why? Because this is a method, we have parenthesis, right? Method. So the name of the method is same as a class name. Okay, so even if we didn't specify any constructor, so it will automatically created by default. Okay, we'll see one by one. So constructor is nothing but a method which is having the same name as class name. Okay, you should remember that all these nothing but it is always related to object creation, initialization, calling on the constructor is related to object. So rules for creating a Java constructor. Okay, so constructor name must be same as a class name. It is a first rule. So if you want to call a method as a constructor, the name of the method is always same as the class name. And a constructor must have no explicit return type. So explicit, implicit. So I think you know the difference, but I will explain once again. So what is explicit, implicit means? Implicit means you have to specify. You have to specify in the program. If you specify return type, that is nothing but implicit type. Okay, so explicit means no need to specify anything. Okay, so that means a constructor must have no explicit return type. That means by default infinitely it consisting a return type. We don't need to specify any return type. If it is a method, we have to specify the return type, but when it comes to the constructor, we don't need to specify any return type. A Java constructor cannot be abstract, static, final, synchronized. I think we completed abstract method, right? Okay, so static keyword, while discussing about a main method, static we have. Okay, so and final, synchronized, still we didn't complete. So these kind of keywords we cannot specify in front of any constructor. Okay, so that means these are the three important and compulsory mandatory rules for the constructor creation. A constructor name should name match with the class name. It doesn't have any return type. Explicitly means we don't need to specify. Inbuilt it taking by default it taking. Okay, we don't specify explicitly. So and these kind of keywords cannot be used in front of any constructor. Okay, so note we have here related to access specifier. We can use access specifier while declaring a construct. Access specifiers means what are access specifiers? Access modifiers. What are those? That means what is meant by access specifier? It gives the visibility of the things. So if it is a method or a variable, it defines the visibility, how far a method or a variable can be accessible. Okay, so we have a 4 specifiers in Java: public, private, protected, default. Okay, we can use them. So we don't use any return type, but we can use access specifier. Okay, it controls the object creation. The constructor actually controls the object creation. So which simply, so if we can have a private, protected or public default constructor. Okay, so that means we don't need to specify access modifier, right? So by default what we have, so that means we can specify access specifier means we have a private constructor, we have a protected constructor, we have a public constructor, we all also have a default constructor. Okay, so that means through the access specifier we have 4 kind of constructors. Okay, so when it comes to the types of constructor, basic classification, we have 2 types. They are default constructor, that means no argument constructor. The second one is the parameterized constructor. So what is a constructor? Basically a constructor is nothing but a method itself, set of a statement, set a block of code. But name is very important. If the name of the method is same as a class name, then that is nothing but that method is called as a constructor. Okay, so 2 types of constructor: default, parameterized. If generally we know now that a method having parameters as well as no parameters. Okay, so that means if a method having the same name as a class name and having arguments or parameters also, then it is called as a parameterized constructor. Otherwise it is called as a default constructor or no argument constructor. Okay, so it is called a constructor because it constructs the values at the time of object creation. Okay, I will explain what is it. And it is not necessary to write a constructor for a class. It is because Java compiler. Okay, by default Java compiler will create one constructor. Okay, if you want to specify explicitly, you can specify. Otherwise by inbuilt it will take one default constructor. Okay, one compulsory constructor is inbuiltly defined. So how to define a Java default constructor means what is the types of constructor we discussed? Default constructor. Default constructor means without parameters. Syntax: class name, parentheses and braces. We can specify the code here. So this is an example program for the default constructor. So class bike1 is the class. Class is a keyword used to create a class. Bike1 is the name of the class. Capital we have to follow. Okay, when it comes to the method, bike1 is the method, but the name of the method is same as a class name now, then this is called as a constructor. Okay, and do we have parameters here? No, we don't have any parameters. That's why this is called as a default constructor. Okay, so we can include one statement like a system.out. So to print, how we have a printf in C, like that we have a system.out.println in Java. So bike is created. Okay, so and it is a method and it is also called as a constructor. But how a Java program will execute? A Java program will always include a main method. The syntax should be like a public static void main string arguments. Okay, this is a main method compulsory. Okay, so whenever we create a main method, so we can so to execute this statement we need to call this one, right? So how to, in general, how to call? So we can create object for the class. Okay, and later on we will call that. So we will call that method by object, right? Like so b dot bike1 like that we have to call. Yes, in the early classes we discussed now. So whenever we have a class, one compulsory method is main method. Okay, if any other methods present like this, so to execute the statements in those methods, what we have to do, we have to create an object for the class, and by that object we have to call them. Okay, but this is not about a method, it is about a constructor, right? So to call a constructor, what we have to do is directly we can create an object. That's enough. Creating an object is enough. Okay, so we don't need to call that method, that the member by object. Okay, why? Because it is a constructor. Here we are actually calling, right? Okay, if you see the right hand side part, so what it mean, we are actually calling this method only, this constructor only. So that is the thing we discussed up here. Okay, uh, so it is called constructor because it constructs the values at the time of object creation only. So at the time of object creation only, you are directly calling the constructor. So you don't need to specify the constructor calling by using an object. Okay, while creating an object, so creating an object is nothing but a calling constructor. So that is here we specify. Okay, so every time an object is created using a new keyword, at least one constructor is called. That means we are calling directly a constructor. Okay, so it calls a default constructor if there is no constructor available, I will tell you. So at the time of calling constructor, memory for the object is allocated in memory. Okay, so in this statement, you have all these definitions. Okay, so you are actually creating an object, you are calling a constructor. Okay, if you didn't specify constructor, means by default it calls. Okay, even though if you don't have any bike here, so it will calls constructor inbuilt. If there is any statement, they execute. If there is no statements, means they won't execute. Okay, so that is the thing. So constructor is nothing but a method which is having the same name as a class name 1. And are we need to call a constructor separately? No. While creating an object, the constructor calls itself. Okay, that is good, that is enough. Okay, so no need separate calling by using an object, that is not required. Okay, that is the about example of the constructor. And in that default constructor, why we are calling default constructor means we don't have any parameters here. Okay, no argument or a default constructor. Okay, so what is the purpose of a default constructor? So the default constructor is used to provide the default values to the objects. Okay, so whenever a default calls constructor, so it will assign a values to the object. Okay, if there is no constructor in a class, compiler automatically creates a default constructor. Okay, so for representing the default constructor, so we are specifying, I mean, what is a constructor? I'm specifying this one. Okay, so if you specify only like this class bike in pairs, I mean braces, if you compile automatically a constructor build. Okay, so that is nothing but a method. Actually the name of the method is same as a class name, that is nothing but a constructor, and here we don't have any parameters, that's why it is called as a default constructor. Okay, so whether you specify constructor, default constructor or not, that is not important here. Okay, the compiler will always calls a one default, at least one constructor. Okay, that is a thing. So when it comes to the parameterized constructor, so that means specifying parameters or argument list in the constructor. So why use the parameterized constructor means we have to pass different values. Okay, here we didn't pass any values. Okay, why? Because here we don't have any reading of data. Okay, so that means that's why we don't specify any parameters, right? So but if you want to pass different types of data, then you can use a parameterized constructor. So this is an example. So class student, the name of the class, ID and names are the variables, data members, and parameterized constructor. Is this constructor? Yes. Why? So the name of the class is same as the name of the method, and here we have a two parameters arguments, int I, integer type I variable, string type n variable. Okay, and here we have a in this constructor we have a variables initialization. That means for this id we are passing a value I, for this name we are passing a value n. Okay, so we are accessing these variables to here, and we are passing these argument values to here. Okay, and we have another method. This is a constructor, this is a method. So you understand the difference. So this is same as the class name, that's why it is called as a constructor, parameterized constructor. And here we have a display. Display is now simply a method that we don't have any parameters. And if you observe here, for constructor we didn't specify any return type, but here we specify void. Void means returns nothing. Here we didn't specify any return type, that means no return type here, but access specifier, if you want you can specify. Okay, and one method means constructor, second method display, and third method, that is compulsory method. So if you specify constructor, other methods, that is not important, but a main method including is very important. Why? Because the execution start from there only. So public static void main, I think static we didn't complete till now. So public we completed, void we completed, main we completed, string arguments we have to complete, right? So main method is compulsory. So how to create an object? Class name space object name equal to new class name. Okay, so these are the two objects, S1 and S2. Okay, now if you observe, you are creating an object by calling in a constructor. Here you can directly pass the values. Yes, here you can directly pass the values. Otherwise, what is the possibility? So S1 dot if it is a some name like student 5 method name, student 5 in bracket, so triple 1 comma current, we have to pass the values. Okay, if it is a normal method, so we have to specify like that. Okay, I will explain. So for example, if it is a normal method, so int a, so it is a constructor, it is a normal method. Okay, so if you want to pass a data to normal method, here you have to pass sum 1, sum 2. So by after calling the method with the object, then you have to pass the values to a normal method. If it is a constructor means, so you have to pass the values directly while creating an object. Object creation is happening, memory allocation to the object is also happening, and calling constructor is also happening, and passing values is also happening, right? Okay, so see here how many things is actually combinedly happening. Okay, so constructor thing is nothing but we are directly passing a values while creating the object. If it is a normal method, you have to create an object, you can call the method, and then you can pass the data. Okay, so that is the issue here. Okay, so that is the issue here. So simply, what is a constructor? Constructor is nothing but method which is having the same name as a class name. Okay, so what is the use of a constructor? So while creating an object, constructor also invoked means calling. Okay, so whenever construct calls, obviously inbuildly memory is allocated to the object. All is happening at a time. Okay, if it is a normal method, we need to call them separately with the help of object. Okay, so that is about a constructor. In that default means no parameter, no argument constructor, as well as a parameterized constructor. Okay, So constructor overloading in Java. Okay, overloading, a new concept here. Constructor is also a new concept, but it is somewhat related to method only. So constructor overloading, to learn this, before you need to learn method overloading. Okay, so you know a method. What is a method? Method is nothing but set of a statement, a block of code. So how to define a method? Method declaration. Access specifier is there, method name is, return type is there. Return type is nothing but data type only. After that, method name is there, and we can pass the, if you want to pass parameters also, you can pass argument list or parameter list. Okay, so this is actually method declaration. Method signature means name of the method as well as the parameters that we all discussed in the method signature. Okay, so now what is about a method overloading? Okay, so method overloading is nothing but class to have more than one method having the same name if their arguments list are differ. So what is constructor? Just we discussed. A constructor is nothing but having the same name as a class name, so that is differ. But when comes to the method, it consisting different name. But now the method of overloading is nothing but having more number of methods. It may be not one, it may be more than one. It may be 2, 3, 4. Any number of methods are also available, possible. So more than one method having the same name. So that is important. So having the same name. So in your class also, so many people having the same names, right? So like that. So how they differ? Again, they differ with the IDs, right? So here having the methods with the same name is nothing but a method overloading. But they differ in the argument list. Argument list important. Okay, so even though they have the same name, so but they differ in the argument list. So then that is called as a method overloading. Okay, so how method overloading is possible? In the same way constructor overloading is also possible. We'll see next slide. Okay, so argument is list is also called as a parameter list. What is meant by parameter list? So the values passed to a method, so these are nothing but parameters or arguments. Okay, so for example, add int a int b is differ from add. Name of the method is same, add only, but when comes to the parameters, int a int b, here int a int b int c, that means here we have two arguments. One is integer a integer b, but here we have three arguments, int a int b int c. Okay, so not only in the number of arguments, they are differ with the type of arguments as well as the order of the arguments also. So here, so method overloading is done by declaring same method with the different parameters, but the parameters must be differ either by number, here 2 parameters, here 3 parameters, number, sequence or types of parameters. That means here int so here three ways to overload a method: number of parameters, data type of parameters, sequence or a data type of sequence of data types of parameters. If you observe, both are same name, add int 2 parameters, 3 parameters. These two methods are overloaded based on the number of parameters. Okay, and when comes to the here, add same names, these two methods are overloaded. But when comes to the parameters, int here int float, so they differ in the type of parameters. Okay, and here the sequence of data types of parameters, add same method names, they are overloaded, but in the 2 parameters only. Okay, number of parameters matches, but data types both having int float, these also having float int. Okay, but the order of the data types, here first int float, the second one is float int, so the order of a sequence of data types is changed. Okay, so these are the different ways to overload a method. Okay, so now I think you understand what is method of overloading. Having the same name in the class same method names is called as a method overloading. How they differ means based on the number of parameters, type of parameters, and sequence of order of parameters. Okay, so here some invalid cases also we need to discuss. So if you see the examples, int add, int float add, int. If you see the name of the method same and the parameters same, the number of parameters, the type of parameters also same. If you observe the int float, what is int and float here? They are actually return types. For the methods, these data types are actually called as a return types, but these differ. These are differ. So can we say this is a method of overloading? No, we can't say. Why? Because so the return type is not included in the rules of method overloading. Okay, so the name same, only the method of overloading is actually depending on the name of the method as well as the parameters only, not on the return type. Okay, so we excluded return type. We don't want to consider the return type for the purpose of method overloading. Even though if it is differ, we can say it is a method overloading. Okay, only the parameters differ, then we can say it is a method overloading. It will give an error actually. Okay, so method of overloading is example of a polymorphism. Polymorphism is static polymorphism. So what is polymorphism? Exhibiting many forms. We already discussed in the object oriented features, right? Exhibiting many forms is nothing but like a polymorphism. Here if you take this method add, it is actually taking two integer numbers. Add, addition of two number, addition only it is performing, but it adds two numbers only. But when it comes to the add is also a method, it performs addition only, but here we are adding three numbers. Okay, so that is the differ. So polymorphism. Static means we have to define early. Dynamic means later we can define, we can change, modifications also allowed. So method of overloading is example of static polymorphism. Okay, so static polymorphism also called as a compile time binding or early binding, and static binding happens at compile time only. Okay, so when while execution of a when comes to the execution of a program, the first part is compilation, the second part is running. So how we have alt F9, control F9 in C, right? Here also Java C compiling, Java interpreter, it is nothing but running. Well, in command prompt we type now Java C file name dot java, that is compilation. So all actually happen at the compile time only. Static polymorphism or static binding, compile time binding, static bind, all happening at a compile time only. This method overloading is also happening at compile time only. Okay, that is the thing. So overloading examples, this is the three different possibilities, right, for method of overloading. For all these I gave an examples. So different number of parameters in augment list. So here different number only you can count. Here one parameter, here two parameters, same name. Okay, so same name, DISP, okay, display. So class display overloading, class name. Here these two are differ. If these are same, then it is called as a constructor, and this concept is called as a constructor overloading. Okay, I think you understand what is constructor overloading. The next we are going to discuss. So this is a method of overloading. Why? Because here we have two methods with the same name, DISP, but they differ in the number of parameters. Here we have only one parameter, here we have two parameters. Okay, so the name of the class is differ with the method names. Okay, those are not called as a constructors. Okay, so again we can call, we have two classes. So we can create a single class. In that single class directly we can specify the, here we have a single class, one constructor, one method, one main method. Okay, two methods, one constructor. So totally three methods in the one class. Okay, constructor also method, no? So here you are creating two classes. So that is our flexibility. Okay, our interest. So I can create the main method within the class. Yes, you can create. No, I don't want to create a main method in the same class. Go on with whatever you are interested. It depends on the number of classes. So here I choose two classes, one for method overloading with the two methods with the same name, but they are differ in the number of parameters. Here one more class for the main method, right? So I created object for the class. So where I have these methods. Okay, so here I can't able to pass values directly, right? So why? Because it is not a constructor. So that is the difference between method and constructor, the use of constructor actually. But here I can call these methods by the object obj. Okay, dot dsp. A means I am passing only one value, that is I can go and print, I can calling this method first method. Why? Because we are passing only a single character value. And as for second line, in the next statement, object dot dsp a comma 10, that means I am passing two values, one is char type, one is integer type. That means I am calling the second method. Okay, so two methods I have, same name but differ in the number of parameters. Okay, so whenever I pass the values, so based on the parameters, number of parameters passing, so this object will calls these methods. Okay, the first calling calls this method, second calling calls this method. Okay, so method overloading happening and calling also happening. Okay, that is the thing. So that means same method name having different behavior. Here it will print single character data. Here it will print character as well as the integer data. One method having different forms. Okay, so difference in data type of parameter. So char c, int c. Okay, so passing a char data method will call, and 5 means integer method will call. Okay, next. So sequence of data type of arguments. So here this is a class with the two methods, method overloading happening. Char c int num char c. Okay, so I'm interchanging the parameter list actually. Okay, so this is the thing. Here first we have char data, second int data. Here we have int data and next char data. Okay, so while calling I am passing the values in the same pattern. Okay, so object calling, so x char, integer char. Okay, so based on the values passed by the programmer, the specific related method will call. Okay, so this is about method overloading. Method overloading means more than one method in the class with the same name, but they differ in the number of parameters, data type of parameter, sequence of data type, order of parameters. Okay, simply called order of parameters. Okay, so what about a return type? If they differ in data type having the same name and same number of parameters, same type of parameters, no, this is not called as a method overloading. It gives the compile time error. Okay, so the same way we can discuss about a constructor overloading. So what is a constructor overloading? Okay, so same, in place of method, in the method overloading, in the place of method you can specify the constructor. That is the thing simply. Okay, you can replace if it is like similarly like that, so we can define. So in the wherever in the previous slides, wherever you find the method overloading, you just replace the constructor overloading. Okay, so that is the same we discussed. So constructor nothing but a method but having the same name as a class name, and don't have any return type. Okay, how Java methods are overloaded, the same way constructor also overloaded. Okay, that means more than one constructor in the same class. Okay, but they differ in the parameter list. So constructor is also perform different tasks. So they are differentiated by the compiler based on the parameters list. Okay, here an example. So here I am creating a single class student 5, id, name, age, three variables I'm taking. Okay, so creating two argument constructors I am creating, student 5, student 5. Are these constructors? So yes, these are constructor. These two are constructor. Why? Because they are having the same name as a class name. Student 5, student 5. Okay. So parameters. So parameters they differ. Int I, string n, two parameters. Here we have a three parameters. Okay. So they differ in the parameters. Um, uh, so so constructor, more than one constructor is nothing but constructor overloading. So actually constructor having the same name constructor, and constructor overloading means more than one constructor with the same name but they differ in the parameters. Okay, constructor overloading. And when we call, and we have another method, that is a display, for displaying the data. So when comes to the creating an object or calling constructor, here we can directly pass the values. Okay, so that is the difference with the method and constructor. For a method you can pass the values by calling object with the method. Okay, sorry, by calling method with the object. But when comes to the constructor, not like that. While creating an object only, you can directly pass the values. So integer char, it will go to here. Integer char and integer, it will go here. Okay. So if you want to display the data, so for S1 you provided this data now, S1 dot display, it will display the data. If you pass the data means it will provide the data, right? So it will display this data. Okay, so here we have an id, name, age. So for here for age some default values may printed, or else no default value printed. Okay, so that is not a big deal. So if data is there, it will print. This is a print statement only. Okay, whatever the data we are passing, that is not actually a problem. So if you have these two values, id and name, that will print. If you have id, name and age, it will print that. Okay, that means we are separately calling display method by using an object. Okay, so method means not having same name as a class name. Constructor means having the same name as a constructor. Method overloading means have more than one method with a similar name but differ in the parameters list, either by number of parameters or type of parameters, order of parameters. Constructor means having the same name as a class name. Constructor overloading means more than one constructor, they also differ in the parameters list. That means number of parameters, type of parameters and order of parameters. Okay, so difference between constructor and method, these are the difference what we discussed early, all I presented here. Okay, so we will see and understand what is here happening. Okay, so that's all.